So here we are, 10 games to go, and Forest are still third. Third since December the 8th. But can we put some daylight between us and the chasing pack? Welcome to the preview for Ipswich Town versus Forest. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your preview for Ipswich Town versus Forest. If you're enjoying the content, as always, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. Make sure you check out the Forest forum if you didn't catch it last night. I'll leave it on the end screen for you, where we ran through these last 10 fixtures. And honestly, those guys are deluded, man. Some of the points they were putting on. Anyway, go check it out if you haven't already. Also, our second channel, there's a new video on the Footy Network. I'll leave it on the end screen. And finally, don't forget to check out the biggest ever football prizes giveaway. You can win like literally anything you can think of that's Forest. Signed frame shirts, the shirts, tickets to Forest matches in the exec boxes, all for 39 pence. Yes, pence. Go scan this QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. Alrighty then, so Forest start this round, if you like, of 29. Round 29, and we are sitting third in the league. Now, if I just bring up the table quick, let's just have a look at the points gap here. We are now sitting behind Arsenal by 4 points. They're going to be playing Chelsea, who are sitting just beneath us on 49 points. And then we've got Man City in 5th, taking on Brighton in 7th. So this is a really important weekend for Forest, because we could potentially, if results go our way, maybe those two teams draw, maybe Arsenal lose to Chelsea, who knows? Forest can find themselves in a comfortable position. And I'm saying these next two matches against these relegation teams like Ipswich and Manchester United, we have to cash in, and 6 points is a must. We can get 6 points in these next two games. I'm going to be very confident about where we finish. So in terms of the team news, Nuno's done his presser today and literally has a full squad. The only one who's out injured is obviously the goalkeeper, Miguel. But outside of that, Nuno can pick from who he wants. And it's going to be interesting to see what choice and what philosophy he goes for. Is he going to look to, outplay Ipswich, look for possession or anything like that? Well, if you pick up on the hints from what Nuno said in the presser, no chance. He's going to stick to what we've been doing. He said, and you can't argue with him, it's been working so far, so why would we change it now? However, having said that, you don't want to be too predictable when it comes to the opposition. Ipswich, yes, they are level on points with Leicester. Yes, they are sitting in the relegation zone. But I don't see them as a free win the same way I see Leicester or a Southampton right now. Forest should win this, but we're going to have to earn the result, that's for sure. And it's away from home at Portman Road, good ground in the Midlands, in East Anglia. Their crowd are going to be up for it. But I just feel that Ipswich know if they lose this one and Wolves maybe win their game, I think they've got Southampton, then that's curtains. So you might see Ipswich trying to go on the front foot here to really take the game to Forest. And if they do that, well, that could play into our favour. So let's have a quick look through the team sheets. Let's talk about what Nuno can do and how he can get the 3 points for Forest. Alright, so let's have a look at the team that lined up in our last match against Manchester City, and it was a kind of 4-2-3-1. Now, it was narrower, and as me and Ben correctly said, it needed to go to the Christmas tree formation, the 4-3-2-1, which we were able then to kind of block out the middle and then get our goal and deal with Manchester City. Ipswich is a completely different prospect. They like to block out the middle of the park themselves, and they tend to leave spaces on the wing. Now, they can be dangerous on the wing with Hutchinson, who is back. I think he got subbed on in their previous match against Crystal Palace. And their left back as well, Leif Davis, is back and playing, and he's a good prospect. I'll be surprised if Ipswich go down if both of them stay. And then obviously there's one everyone's talking about, Rory Delap. I still remain to be convinced, and no, I'm not jinxing anything. So I think Forest need to go back to the 4-2-3-1 here. because we do and we will find space on the width. We're going to need an Elanga. We're going to need a Hudson-Odoi. We're going to need none of this weird switching and letting them decide when they can switch. I think the team pretty much picks itself here. Again, as always, the only position for me that's worth debating or is a contest really is that 6th position. Now, against an Ipswich team, I would bring Dominguez out, even though I think he was close to man of the match last time. I'd take him out, and honestly, I'd bring in Yates for this match. This is his kind of match where he can get like down and dirty, as the saying goes, with the Ipswich players and potentially maybe score another goal. He does, when he grabs his goals, seem to get them against these lower placed opposition. I don't think much more needs to be said about the team at this stage of the season. With 10 games to go, Nuno should have his team locked down in his mind. He should know who his starting 11 is. I think he knows 10 out of the 11 positions. Now, the only one at a stretch, if I was going to consider making another change, would be Elanga. But I personally wouldn't do it because I think he's been kind of played within himself over the last few games. I think positionally he's not been correct, not from him, but by their tactics Nuno's done, and he's almost been a sacrificial lamb. So I say play Elanga, let him play wide, let him take on the fullback. That's where we're going to see an interesting battle there between him and Leif Davis, because Davis likes to get forward. Will Elanga track back with him, or will he hold and, you know, play into the space? And he could find himself in a lot of good attacking positions. So that's really it for me on the team. It's just the 6th position. I can't see Nuno doing anything weird like going to the back 3 or anything like this. Forest just have to make sure they defend solidly, and we will and should get chances against Ipswich. And with Ipswich probably having to play on the front foot, that will suit Forest. But what do you think of that team? Would you make any changes? Would you go to a back 3? Let me know in the comments. So how do I see this one playing out? I mean, on paper, it should be a Forest win. But what I will say, this game worries me more than the game coming up against Manchester United after the international break. Forest need to go into this international break on a high. We guarantee ourselves 3rd spot, as in going into the break if we get the 3 points here. And if the other results go our way, we could find ourselves a point behind Arsenal, or at least a handful of points behind the chasing pack. And with the run-in we do have, if we can get this win and a win against Manchester United, then you can almost limp your way home. A tough game then against Villa away after that. And then we got some cannon fodder teams like Leicester and Spurs and teams like that. So it's getting interesting. But don't take anything for granted when it comes to the final 10 games of the season. There are teams playing for different things. There are teams trying to push for Europe. There are teams trying to avoid relegation, just like Ipswich are as well. But I think we should be somewhat confident about this game. But when everyone's feeling that confident, usually this is when Forest do a Forest. But forget that. I'm going to go for a Forest win here. I think it will be 1 or 2-0 to Forest. I think it will be a pragmatic, professional performance. And you know what? There's going to be an unusual goal scorer for me. I'm going with Anderson to get a goal. I think he's going to bang one in from like 20 yards. And then maybe Elanga is due. That's what I'm going with. What do you guys reckon? Let me know in the comments. As I said, don't forget to check out the Forest Forum if you want to see a full breakdown of the last 10 games in our race to Europe. And check out my predictions for the whole weekend coming up over on TFN. Both those videos are on the end screen. Give us a like if you haven't already. It would be much appreciated. Make sure you're subscribed if you are new. And we'll see you on the watch along on Saturday. Come on, you Reds.